Pitching continues to power the start for the Clemson Tigers in 2020. Sam Weatherly overpowering, 14 strikeouts in 6 innings of work. He wasn't alone. Jeffrey Gilbert comes in as the Tigers get 18 Ks against the Seawolves. Carson Spires gets the save. The Tigers get out of a bases-loaded jam in the 9th. A 2-0 victory for Clemson. Game 2 starts now. It is a beautiful Saturday afternoon at Doug Kingsmore Stadium as the undefeated Clemson Tigers take on Stony Brook. Hi, everybody. Fred Cunningham along with Marty Clary. Well, of course, for the second Saturday in a row, we get to be here for a ball game watching Davis Sharp leading the way for the Tigers.
And Clemson's plan, get ahead in the count, go 5 or 6 deep with your starter, pass it off to a great reliever.
They'll be taking on the Seawolves. This is a team from Long Island, just outside New York City, but they're a southern team for these early weeks.
And like always, they're trying to get their footing. Playing against teams like Clemson, they'll be there.
Let's take a look at that Stony Brook lineup. Keeping your eye today on the number 3 hitter in the order. That is Chris Hamilton. He's their leading returning hitter from a year ago. He's off to a slow start, and in Game 1 yesterday, he had 4 of those 18 strikeouts that the Seawolves had to absorb against Tiger pitching. Let's take a look at that Clemson defense. Now, keep in mind, they still don't have James Parker in the lineup, so a couple of changes out there. Bo Mikowski will be starting in center field today. And as you see the rest of the lineup, obviously Hackenberg behind the plate for the Tigers. And on the mound, Davis Sharp. We saw him a week ago. He was part of a 3-pitcher effort that wound up with a shutout. That was against Liberty.
Yeah, and just like then, they want to see him get ahead in the count, use 2 or 3 pitches, try and get 5-6 innings, and then pass it on to Kurt Keyshawn.
This Tiger staff has been tremendous. I know it's in the early stages of the season, but after 5 games, they have a team ERA of 1. That's not a misprint, 1.00.
Yeah, and even for early in the season, that's incredible. I know hitters are behind a little bit coming out, but that's just incredible performances, and whether they can duplicate that, we'll see.
The sophomore third baseman, Evan Giordano, will lead things off for Stony Brook. He waits for the first pitch from Davis Sharp. It's in there for a called strike. Giordano on the season, batting .500 so far. Fly ball, it's going to be fouled out of place, quickly down 0-2.
And for those of you who want to know, he's about 88, 89 right now. First inning here.
Sharp pitching 5 scoreless innings against Liberty 1 week ago. Called strike, a 3-pitch strikeout, and there's 1 away.
Well, that's about as good as you get. I mean, if you could ask, how do you want to start a game? Throw a bunch of strikes? And no, and right there you saw he went 2 fastballs to start and then finished with a slider right there in perfect location.
Sharp a year ago led the Tigers in ERA, starts, innings pitched, and strikeouts. Here's Stanton Luthner. Takes the ball. Davis had 6 strikeouts in that victory against Liberty 1 week ago. Right down the middle, even things up at 1-1.
I remember talking to Schmaltz, Glavin, and them as they really started getting on rolls and being consistent, and then Maddox came along, and a lot of others, obviously. And they used to feed off. If one guy threw good, they wanted to throw a little bit better. And I think you're seeing that even with Clemson. One guy throws good, the next guy wants to duplicate that.
Misses inside. 3-1. Luthner, the freshman from New Providence, New Jersey. .375 on the season, has 1 home run. Mentioned the Seawolves have been on the road. They went 1-3 as he misses and makes it the full count at 3-2. They played 4 games to open the season last week, losing 3 of them against Texas State. Here's the full count pitch. Takes it looking. 2 up, 2 down, both strikeouts for Sharp.
So he's throwing that slider, and that one backed up and just kind of froze his hands. He just could not get them through the zone.
So Sharp looking that way so far. He faces the number 3 hitter. Here is Chris Hamilton. And again, he hit .325 for this team a year ago. He was the number 8 hitter in the America East Conference. Stony Brook had 4 of the top 10 hitters a year ago in their conference. 3 of them are gone. Lays down a bunt. Sharp with the throw. Can be called safe as the ball gets away, and Hamilton, who struck out 4 times yesterday, is going to get aboard at second on an error. It's going to be called an error against the pitcher, Davis Sharp.
And that throw took the ball into the line. It was just a perfect bunt, probably one of those you should just eat, but with nobody on, take a chance. But sometimes that's what happens when you get your first baseman's hand in the runner and shook him up a little bit.
So not only does the runner get aboard, but he's already in scoring position. And that brings up the catcher, John Tuccillo, junior from Clinton Corners, New York.
That was a play that worked well. It's not one that you're expecting your third hitter at the start of the game to be bunting for a base hit, so it caught everybody off guard and laid it just right.
Right down the middle for a strike. Of course, the Seawolves have been struggling so far. 18 strikeouts yesterday, 2 to start the game today. So trying to do something to get a runner on board, and it wound up working. Ground ball. It'll be handled by Sam Hall, who comes up throwing. Actually, he's going to hang on to it. And now there's suddenly 2 aboard for Stony Brook.
Well, that was one of those excuse-me swings on a fantastic breaking ball. You'll see it. He did not have a chance at doing anything with it. However, he laid it up just right between the pitcher and the shortstop to where there was no play.
So now, after a couple of strikeouts, runners at the corners for the center field and Christian Montez.
And this is the thing about baseball. Now, he has thrown fantastic every pitch, and yet he's got runners in scoring position and having a tougher inning than you would expect.
Pitches in the dirt. The appeal over to first. Ball 1.
That was pretty close.
Yeah. Good view with our camera there. Laid down a good bunt. And then just that excuse me swing you talked about. I mean, that just wound up absolutely in the perfect spot between the pitcher and the shortstop.
I mean, they got guys on first and third and haven't hit one past the infield grass. So this is baseball.
1-0 pitch. Misses on the outside, 2-0.
And here's where Davis has to be careful and just, hey, I'm throwing great. I don't care where the runners are. I'm throwing great. I need to just take a breath, keep throwing like I am, and I'll get out of this.
Montez off to a slow start, 2 for 20 on the season. He takes that pitch for a strike. It's 2-1.
Comes in with a good fastball and a good location.
The 2-1. Ground ball. Sam Hall has it. The flip to second, and the side is retired. An infield hit, couple of strikeouts, and 2 left. We go to the bottom of the first. No score at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. Clemson batting order here in the bottom of the first inning. James Parker's injury has had Monty lead aside to make this change by taking Max Starbuck and taking him from that number 9 spot, moving him to leadoff and moving everybody down a little bit. So we'll see Starbuck, Meredith, and Henderson here in the first for the Tigers. Defensively for Stony Brook, and they've got an excellent catcher, by the way, in Tuccillo. Very, very good defensively. He is the leader of that defense there behind the plate. And on the hill for the Seawolves today, Sam Turcotte. He's a sophomore right-hander. 0-1 is his record, 3.60 his ERA. He went 5 innings in his first start of the season against Texas State last week. He gave up a couple of runs, struck out 3 with 1 walk. So leading things off for the Tigers, here is Mac Starbuck, the freshman out of Easley, about a 20 or 25-minute drive from here. Sat out the 2019 season, so here he is as a redshirt freshman. 3 for 13 start for him. If he gets on board, watch for him as his ability to run. He's 2 for 2 in stolen bases. Lays down a bunt, fielding it and throwing, and in time, and they get him. Nicely done by Evan Giordano. There's one down.
Yeah, Clemson coming right back with the same thought. Maybe let's get runners on, see what can happen. Popped it up a little bit. Third baseman was playing really close, so he made a good play on that.
Seawolves have to feel good, at least from this standpoint. Clemson got the leadoff man on 6 out of 8 innings yesterday, so they get the leadoff guy down to start game 2. And here's Kier Meredith, sophomore out of Winston-Salem. Takes that pitch inside. Of course, he had the only RBI of the game that we did here 1 week ago as the Tigers beat Liberty 1-0. Takes it for a strike, 1-1. Meredith 7 for 16 on the season, so he's been off to an excellent start.
Turcotte, a big right-hander, throws about 88, 89.
Doesn't chase after that one. One of the things Monty Lee was happy about yesterday for the Tigers was that on Wednesday in their victory against Fermi, he thought their hitters chased too many pitches outside the zone and thought they were much better than that yesterday. And you saw Meredith lay off that one. Takes a cut and misses, 2-2.
High fastball, and Kier just could not get his hands in front.
Here's a good look at Tuccillo, the catcher. Fouled out of play.
So Turcotte's throwing about 88, but you see the hitters do not seem to be seeing it all that great, and that ball's getting on them quicker than you would think an 88-mile-an-hour fastball would.
Fouled again. Meredith battling here with one away in the bottom of the first.
Oh boy, win another one, babe. Another one, no.
Tigers as a team coming in, hitting 276. Misses it low, and there's 2 away.
Turcotte comes right back with a changeup with a little tail and sinking. Dynamite combination for a good fastball that hitters don't feel like they can catch up with and come right back, and they trying to swing a little faster, and then they can't hold up on the changeup.
2 down for the left fielder, Elijah Henderson, the sophomore. Takes ball 1. Henderson off to a great start out of Greer. 9 for 17 so far. He's knocked in 3 runs. Takes a strike on the corner. Turcotte's pitch. There's a drive, but it's going to go foul down the left side. It's 1-2. See how far he hooked that one. And there's a young Tiger fan. And it looks like he gave it up already. Maybe he gave it to mom or dad as that fouls that away. Here, save this. I might get more before the day's over. Gorgeous day here after we've had about 3 nasty kind of weeks weather-wise. We've had rain, we've had tornadoes, we've had snow. But today, sunshine in the upper 50s. 2-2 pitch. Popped it up. Tuccillo will watch it go out of play. Bounced off the roof above us. Look at Tuchillo right there.
Turcotte doing a great job so far, getting ahead, hitting the zone.
Pitch is low, will be full, 3-2.
Even bearing a little pride of Canada on his glove, if you're able to see that on his fingers.
The 3-2. Fouled it back. That got our behind the plate umpire. Also looked like it bounced off Elijah's head as well. That's Jeremy Dupree behind the plate.
Just the kind stoppage of play. I'm going to walk out and talk to my pitcher. You get your head together, and I'll be back.
Dupree gets that mask back on. The mask save, that's still a little jarring when it hits you, though.
Like a punch in the head. It really is.
So our head umpire ready to go. 3-2 pitch. And he's going to walk him, so the Tigers get their first base runner.
We talked a lot about Turcotte pounding the zone, but what a great at-bat by Henderson. I know Monty Lee would be excited about that, is to see him battle so hard, even though there was 2 outs, and it would be easy just to make another out. So, good at-bat.
They talk about good swing decisions here, and he thought they did a great job of that yesterday. Here's Adam Hackenberg. He's off to a great start to this 2020 season. Batting .350. He's knocked in 5 runs so far, as they're going to keep an eye on Henderson over at first. First pitch to Hackenberg. Fouled it out of play. If you saw the game yesterday, Hackenberg came up with the bases loaded, nobody out in the first, and hit into a double play. But Monty Lee was talking about that's a great credit to Stony Brook, because he thought that it was a shot down the left field line, but right before the pitch, the shortstop and the third baseman shifted over, so they were in the perfect spot. He thought that could have been a 2-run double.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know a lot of strategy goes in between each pitch and each hitter.
Popped it up out of play. It'll be 0-2.
Based on what pitch you plan on calling to throw, can change your defensive positioning.
Of course, Adam, the star of Sunday, he had 3 hits and knocked in 3 runs as the Tigers finished up that sweep of Liberty. Takes it a called strike, so a couple of strikeouts in the first for Turcotte. 1 complete at Clemson. We are scoreless. Tigers and Stony Brook. There's always going to be a little football played at any kind of a sporting event at Clemson, as these young kids are having a good time on the hill over in left field. Scoreless game as we go to the top of the second. Stony Brook and Clemson. Seawolves had a couple of runners on in the first. It got nothing across. The Tigers got nothing out of their 1 base runner in the bottom of the inning. Great crowd here today. Really just taking it in.
And I think Dupree's showing that if you show you're around the plate, he's going to give you a little bit on the corner. So, you know, as a pitcher, you want to take advantage of that. And as a hitter, you better kind of get ready.
6, 7, and 8 hitters up. Leading here is Brad Hipsley, the designated hitter. Swing and a miss. 3rd start of the season for Hipsley. He's 0 for 7 so far, so looking for his first hit of 2020. Davis Sharp had a couple of strikeouts in the first inning. Quickly had 0-2 here.
Really a hard slider down and in, and just swung right over it. Really, if he hits it, all he's going to do is pull that into the dugout. Just a great location.
0-2 pitch. Fouled out of play.
0-2 changeup there, not a good location, and that's one that could have been hit pretty hard, but just got him out in front just a little bit.
Once again, just fouling it away. Remains 0-2.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah. Our microphones are able to pick it up, and they almost got to take home a souvenir there. Fly ball, center field. Mikowski calls for it. A couple of steps up. There's one down. First ball out of the infield for the Seawolves.
And not hit really hard, and with the wind today, you're really going to have to jolt one anywhere from center to left probably, but give you a little help if you hook it.
Yeah, that's the direction the wind is going right now. As you see Brett Paulson, the freshman, step in. Not much of a wind out there today. 55 degrees as we get this one underway. About a 5-mile-an-hour wind blowing. Quickly behind, 0-2.
Seeing Stony Brook swing so far and pitches that they're taking, that they just are not quite up to speed just yet as hitters. And they're gonna get a lot better. They're better than what's been demonstrated. And Clemson's been pretty good throwing the strikes with quality pitches. So it's a bad combination if you're not been out much and haven't seen a lot of live pitching. Good pitch right there.
3 strikeouts now for Sharp, all 3 looking, and that brings up Cole Durkin. Out of Jefferson, Massachusetts. Hitting 143 so far. Stony Brook has been struggling offensively to get this season started. Batting 198 as a team heading into the game today. They are the defending American East champions. Played in the NCAA tournament a year ago. Takes that one, and it's now 1-2.
And there's umpire Dupree showing that you've been around the plate a lot. I'm going to give you that pitch. Might have been just a hair outside.
Fly ball, right field. Brewer chasing after it, and this one will go foul. Gave it a ride, but it'll remain 1-2.
And that was that one location I said that wind could help you, and he just about hooked it around the pole.
Good look there at Dylan Brewer, the freshman out of Latta, South Carolina. Tiger fans clapping, making some noise. They'd like to see a strikeout to end the inning. Fly ball. Popped it up, actually. Calling up for it is Starbuck, and it's 3 up and 3 down. We will go to the bottom of the second. Scoreless at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. Scoreless in the bottom of the second, Clemson and Stony Brook. Of course, in addition to baseball, we will be doing some chatting before our day is over. We'll have a chance to talk to both head coaches, Monty Lee and Matt Sink, for the Tigers and for Stony Brook. We're also going to talk a little bit later to Sam Weatherly, who's got the day off, and he earned it after that start yesterday. We had 14 strikeouts in 6 innings of work. Bo Mikowski leading things off here, the junior out of Johns Creek, Georgia. There's a shot that's going to go right to the second baseman, Brett Paulson. He hit it hard, but he hit it right at the second baseman, and there's one down.
Just the opposite of what we talked about in the very first inning, where Stony Brook had 2 guys on and didn't get one past the infield grass. That's what can happen too. Line drives right at somebody.
Nice reaction by Paulson. That brings up Chad Ferry. There's a fly ball, deep left field, going back. There is going to be room at the track, and he pulls it in. Nicely done by Cole Durkin. So 2 swings, and there's 2 down.
And he hit that pretty good, but unfortunately a left-hander slicing into that wind, even though it's not strong, it is going to be pushing it against the spin of that ball the whole time, and it finally just died just before the wall.
Needed about 10 more feet on that one. So with 2 away, the third baseman, Briar Hawkins. Takes that first pitch for a ball. Sophomore out of Cumming, Georgia.
That was a changeup. That was a really, really good location. Kind of surprising that that was not called a strike.
Fly ball right field. Looking forward and bringing it in is Schwartz, and it's another 1-2-3. Actually, the first 1-2-3 inning for the Seawolves. Of course, we'll be talking to their coach and more coming up in the third. 2 complete at Clemson. Nothing across. It is a busy day at the Cajun Cafe in right field at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. Top of the third, no score, Stony Brook and Clemson. The smoke is blowing, not ideally for us. It's blowing the aroma sort of in our direction, but then it kind of fades off to right field. So the right fielders, they got that enjoyable aroma today, but we can't quite get it here all the way in the booth. Some days just the weather doesn't cooperate.
Exactly.
Number 9 hitter in the order for Stony Brook will lead things off here in the third. That's Ellis Schwartz, and he takes the first pitch and swings and misses. The freshman from Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Nothing helps a pitcher more than be able to throw your second and third pitch for strikes, and he has been doing that on a regular, both pitchers really, on a consistent basis, and it's made it much more easy to try and get these hitters off balance.
Ground ball. Sharp slip for a moment as it goes, and it's going to roll foul. Davis started reacting to it. Seemed to lose his footing for just a moment, making his way back up there. Sharp so far in the game has allowed a couple of hits.
Almost another swinging hit there.
Yeah.
Swinging bunt almost.
He's got 3 strikeouts as well, and he's got a 1-2 count here. Inside, 2-2. Two-two pitch. Fly ball toward Brewer, 1 down.
Good slider in on his hands, just a little jam shot out to right field.
So we go back to the top of the order. Evan Giordano struck out looking the first time up. .471 his average on the season. Takes another strike.
Again, a slider, backed up a little bit. Hitter's not really able to react to that right now this early in the season.
Fly ball. Could be trouble. Chasing after it is Starbuck. It will drop between 3 of the Tigers, and it's going to be a single for Giordano.
That slider a little bit more out of the plate and able to get his hands extended. And you see, again, not really what you would consider a drive. However,
yeah,
just perfect placement.
It looks like a line drive in the box score.
Yes.
So Luthner comes up with a runner at first. Three hits now for Stony Brook. Again, they got basically 2 infield. One was a bunt. One was an infield hit that just found the perfect spot between the pitcher and short, and then that one. So they haven't exactly rocked Sharp yet. But they're getting a few guys on.
Yeah, the one infield, not the bunt, was basically a check swing.
Yeah.
It wasn't really even he swung through.
Right, yeah. Throws back over. Giordano does have 1 steal on the season. As they try to continue to keep him close.
Well, they've seen it's been 1 or 2 runs that all it takes is to win a ball game, and so you don't want to give them an easy chance into a scoring position.
Ground ball. Hall turns 1. Can they get 2? Throw was too high, so the runner's safe.
Flip was just a little soft and kind of had him leaning into the shortstop on that. You'll see here it was slow anyways, a little soft, and has him in front and just could not quite get enough on that throw.
So there's now 2 down, runner at first, and here's Chris Hamilton. And again, he reached on that bunt, got up to second on the bad throw by Sharp, and then was stranded there in the first. Takes the strike. .325 hitter 1 season ago.
You know, here's talking a lot about throwing strikes and pounding the strike zone. What's really good about that is they're on the thirds, not in the middle of the plate. You'll see them on the outer third or inner third, which is much different than just throwing a strike, than just throwing it dead center. So you'll take a look there and you'll see he's trying to get on the outside part of the plate.
Once again, they continue to keep working Giordano at first. Sharp now at 40 pitches as we work here with 2 down in the third. Big cut and misses 1 and 2.
Just a great changeup right there. That one was you want that center of the plate, but you want it almost bouncing the plate because that makes it look like a fastball starting at your knees, but by the time it gets to the plate, it's out of the strike zone.
Misses outside.
And tried to come back with it. And you see the hitter didn't even offer it that on the outside part of the plate. If that had been middle of the plate, he's thinking that's a strike again.
Of course, we've talked so much about Clemson's pitching. 5 games, they've already had 2 shutouts this season. Fly ball, left field, chasing after it, and it's going to fall foul, as you saw Hawkins and Henderson trying to run it down but couldn't get there, and we'll hold it 2 and 2.
Looking more like a golf match.
Yeah.
With Stony Brook so far, and just laying it right in the sweet spots.
Another throw over the first base.
Like to see him hold him there now for a while and just hold it and make his legs get heavy over at first.
2-2 in the dirt. We'll go Thole at 3 and 2. There's a good look at Hackenberg, who's Monty was talking about before the game, does an outstanding job with this staff as that one is fouled away. Just said he's a natural leader behind the plate, that he's really handled this young staff well, and considering he's still a young player, he's only a sophomore. Runs in the family. His older brother was a outstanding quarterback at Penn State, played in the NFL for a while. Runner going, and a swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Sharp, and that will end the inning. We will talk to the head coach of Stony Brook, Matt Sink, when we come back, as Davis Sharp gets strikeout number 4. Scoreless going to the bottom of the third. Fred Cunningham and Marty Clary with you. We welcome the head coach of Stony Brook in season number 30, Matt Sink. Coach, thanks for being with us. As a team that's coming from the Northeast, what's it like being in the South for the first few weeks of the season?
Yeah, it's it's a huge help to us as far as getting ready for conference play, and it's just something that's necessary, and we've always tried to play the best programs we can, and Clemson is right there with some of the best ones we've had an opportunity to play.
Coach, I know you'd like to be 4-1, 5-0. Every coach does. But talk about the positive things you're seeing even in those losses that are going to help carry you into your conference.
Yeah, tough, a bunch of tough one-run losses, and we're not out here for moral victories, but the guys have done a lot of good things. I'm really happy with our pitching and our defense, and that seems to be ahead of everybody, kind of across the country. So the hitting will come, and hopefully we get a big hit real soon, and maybe jump out to a lead today.
Coach Sink, we appreciate you being with us. Thank you so much. Good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, Matt Sink, head coach of Stony Brook. His team in a battle right now against the Tigers, a scoreless game here in the bottom of the third inning, and Dylan Brewer will lead things off for the Tigers against Sam Turcotte. First pitch is in the dirt. Dylan getting the start today in right field. The freshman from Latta. Highly touted recruit coming to Clemson this year. Gets ahead quickly at 2-0.
Good hard fastball there, and you can see the catcher tried to bring it back over the inside part, but it was inside.
Fouled it off 2-1. Dylan got his first career hit against the Seawolves yesterday. Drafted in the 32nd round by the Giants, but made his way to Clemson, and I know Monty Lee is happy to have him. 2-1 pitch. Takes it. Now he's at 3-1. Turcotte's got 2 strikeouts and a walk so far. Has not allowed a hit. Misses, and it's full at 3-2.
Still right around that 88, 89 miles an hour.
Three-two pitch. In the dirt, Tigers get the leadoff man aboard for the first time this afternoon. That brings up Sam Hall, the shortstop, hitting number 9 in the order. Sam's off to it's a rough start, but it's interesting. He's got 2 hits. 2 for 20 so far, but one's a home run and the other knocked in a run.
Being productive, that's what helps. Getting the big hits, timely hits, that's what helps you jump off to 4-0 starts, 5-0 starts.
Correct myself, he's 2 for 16, but he got the home run, and the RBI came in with a triple. That was yesterday, and it gave Clemson a 2-0 lead in a game they would eventually win by that count, 2-0, in the opener of the series. Turcotte's pitch inside for a ball.
I was surprised by his pitch selection on Brewer with full count. He threw a changeup with nobody on for leadoff hitter, a pitch that can go awry on a regular basis, rather than challenging him.
Throw over to first. Brewer does have 1 steal so far in these first 5 games. And the Tigers got the leadoff man aboard 6 times in 8 innings yesterday. This is the first time they've been able to do it here in game 2. Nice pitch down the middle for a strike will even it up. Good look at Sam Hall. Led the ACC in stolen bases a year ago. The first Tiger to do that since 1994. Runner is going. Ball in the air. Ellis Schwartz, the right fielder, is there. 1 away. That will send Brewer back to first.
looked like a hit and run there, and that ball being so high was really tough to get that ball on the ground. And unfortunately for Clemson, that ball was a fly ball. Sends the runner back to first.
Brings back the top of the order, Max Starbuck. 0 for 1, rounded out to third to lead things off in the bottom of the first inning. They continue to work Brewer over at first. Turcotte's pitch. High and inside, and it's 1-0. Turcotte at 34 pitches here in the bottom of the third. Popped it up. Tuccillo looking back at it, but it will go into the stands, and it's 1-1. Hit off the roof right above us and rolled down, and hopefully somebody was alert down there and caught it clean. Again, we keep mentioning nice crowd here today. We've had so much rain this week, but to see the bright sunshine, upper 50s. Should have a nice day tomorrow for the series finale, a noon start. You'll see it right here on ACC Network Extra. Pitch is high, 2-1.
Turcotte's been effectively high out of the strike zone because he's been coming back with a good slider or changeup down in the strike zone, which really kind of makes it difficult on a hitter.
Starbuck 3 for 14 on the season. He's scored 4 runs. Gets it inside to make it 2-2.
And that's what I was talking about. Now he comes right back with a slider that stayed inside, didn't really bite across the plate, and left that hitter just kind of frozen.
Two-two pitch. Fouled it back. Went off the, looked like the helmet of Tuccillo. So it stays 2-2 on Mac Starbuck. Fly ball. Backing up for it was the second baseman, and then a little bit of adventure here as Montez called him off and is able to bring it in, and there's 2 down.
And that's really what you want to do as your outfielder. If he's got a chance to get there, he's running in, he sees it easier. Just call everybody off and just get up under it.
So with 2 down and a runner at first, Kier Meredith struck out swinging against Turcotte. That is Turcotte's only strikeout of the game so far. As they continue to keep an eye on Brewer at first. He's aboard with a walk. Runner going. Tuccillo's throw will not be in time, and it's a stolen base for Brewer. It's his second of the season.
See him get a good jump there. Got hung up in the catcher's glove for just a second. Gives him a pretty easy shot at getting into second.
So now a runner in scoring position for the Tigers with 2 out. So Meredith's got a chance here. Popped it up, out of play. Tigers' first runner in scoring position on the day.
Brook continues to throw that fastball up in the zone, and as of right now, the Tigers have not shown that they can catch up to it.
Oh-2 pitch. Takes it for a ball, 1-2. Again, Kier's off to an excellent start. 7 for 17 on the season. Takes it looking, strikes out for the second time, and the Tigers will leave one aboard. Scoreless after 3. We will talk to Monty Lee when we return. Top of the 4th at Clemson. Stony Brook and the Tigers are scoreless. We're joined by the coach of Clemson, Monty Lee. And Coach, both pitchers doing a fine job of this one so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Their guys just kind of living glove side in on left-handers, and he's elevating the fastball, and he's got a pretty good breaking ball, good changeup, so he's got 3 pitches going right now, and Davis is being Davis so far. So, he squared a couple balls up. Chad hit a ball good. Magic hit a ball good. Had a couple good at-bats out of Elijah and out of Brewer there. Just got to find a way to, put a good swing on the baseball with a runner in scoring position, and just hadn't had quite a lot of opportunities here yet.
Coach, y'all have had a tremendous start, but as someone who has expectations to be in a World Series type situation, is there anything that you see you want to see clean up as you go forward?
I don't know if I'd necessarily say we need to clean up anything. We just need to get better, just offensively. I think that's the big key. You just kind of look around, and we got some guys that don't have a ton of experience, and we got to find a way to get them experience by playing them. So, we just got to keep, staying positive with our guys, keep running them out there and let them compete, and they'll get better as the year progresses.
All right, Coach Lee, we appreciate it. Thanks for spending time with us.
Yep.
All right, Monty Lee of the Tigers. As we go to the top of the 4th inning, scoreless game, Clemson and Stony Brook, and John Tuccillo will lead things off. He had that excuse me single back in the first. Off Davis Sharp. There's a ground ball into a similar spot, but this time it's to Briar Hawkins. He makes the play. There's one down.
Yeah, very similar. He did not get much of that at all. It just happened to be in line with it where the fielder already was standing, and so he made a easier play to get him out.
He hit the other one about 5 or 6 yards to the right of that. Just found that perfect spot between the pitcher and short, was able to beat it out. So Montez, the center fielder, up with one down, lays down a bunt. Davis Sharp with the throw, gets him in time. There's 2 down.
Really a nice play by Davis right there. He was moving quickly to that. It was a pretty good location. He just made a good one-handed play with it that does not take as much time.
Beat him by a full step, so that'll bring up Brad Hipsley, the designated hitter. He led off the second with a fly ball out to center. Misses that pitch inside.
I thought it was interesting listening to both of those coaches. Both of them happy with their pitching, looking for more runs. One's 1-4, one's 5-0.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? This is a Clemson team whose personality just has changed so much from a year ago, when actually the last few seasons. As Hipsley takes that pitch, he's 1-2. Tigers hit 82 home runs last year. That was 11th in the NCAA, but 48 of those home runs are no longer here. They've only hit a couple on the year. Ground ball and a chance for a 1-2-3 inning for Sharp, and he gets it. Nothing across for Stony Brook. We go to the bottom of the 4th. No score at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. 3, 4, and 5 hitters up for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 4th inning. A scoreless game. Game 2 of the series against Stony Brook. Elijah Henderson will be leading things off here. And we are so happy because it looks like we've had an order to go delivered to us by the Cajun Cafe. Not only do they make great food, they have great service, and it is so appreciated.
So my wish did come true.
Yeah.
Just wanted to let you know that. It's arrived.
They must have heard me complaining that the wind was not blowing the smoke from the grills all the way to the press box. So they took note, and we are so if you want to take some time off during this inning, I'll understand it.
The smell is killing me.
It is. It's awesome.
This is awesome.
Turcotte ahead of Henderson. 0-2 pitch. Takes it just high. There they are. There's our delivery team.
Delivered us
Well,
survival meals.
Go ahead and show that camera right there.
Get a good look.
Oh my goodness! They loaded us up. Pitches in the dirt, 2-2.
Shrimpies.
You thought of everything, guys. Thank you. We appreciate it. So kind of you. Service with a smile. Ground ball. That's going to be the first base hit for the Tigers. A chance for extra bases for Henderson. Elijah will come standing up into second, and it is a lead-off double here in the fourth for the Tigers.
Great piece of hitting right there. That ball got out over the plate, and he drove it right down the line. Once it got by the third baseman, it was evident it was going to be a double.
So Henderson comes back and gets that glove on for base running, and now that brings up Adam Hackenberg in a good spot with a runner in scoring position. Second runner in scoring position for the Tigers on the day. Adam struck out looking to end the first. Ground ball right side out of play.
Breaking ball, not the one you really want to swing for right there when you're even in the count and runner in scoring position, but nerve sometimes you just want to drive somebody in, can't hold off.
He's been a .333 hitter this year in this situation. Turcotte's 0-1 pitch is high, 1-1.
Stony Brook now shifting over just before that pitch, moving a second baseman directly behind second base now, and you can see that.
They are playing for him to take it to the left side as he steps out. You can also see the good look at the lead being taken by Henderson at second. Took a cut and missed. It's 1-2.
Another slider there, and looked like he was actually trying to spin that into the second base area, but that ball too far inside and he ended up pulling over it.
Turcotte has passed the 50 pitch mark now. Pitch is in the dirt, but Tuccillo did a good job of keeping it in front of him, and Henderson remains at second.
And a good pitch by Turcotte. He's thrown two that he chased, and he was hoping he could get him to chase that one there and not be in any danger of giving up a hit.
No activity in either bullpen right now for the Tigers and for Stony Brook in this scoreless game. Here comes the 2-2. In the dirt again, blocked by Tuccillo, and it's a full count.
So he's done slider, slider, slider since getting the runner on second. Another good block. And now, what is he going to do? He's 3-2, he's got a base open. As a hitter, I'm still thinking that's what they want to get me out on. I'm going to look for that pitch one more time.
3-2 pitch. Fouled it out of play.
If he comes fastball and you're looking that slider, all you have to do is just make enough contact to just hit it to the right side and you move a guy up. So a lot of positive things here as you're a hitter can happen. As the pitcher, you're saying, I need my perfect pitch right here.
Swing and a miss, second strikeout of the day for Hackenberg, and there's one down.
Good pitch, that high fastball. After throwing all those sliders going from high to low, he threw it high and it kept going high, and he just swung right up underneath it.
That brings up Bo Mikowski. In the first inning, he just drilled a shot, but he hit it right at Paulson, the second baseman, to lead things off in the second. Takes a pitch for a strike.
Turcotte showing a lot of confidence, a lot of poise, throwing sliders, inside, outside.
He was 4-2 a year ago, an ERA of just over 4 for the Seawolves. Ground ball up the middle. It's going to be fielded by the shortstop. They get 2 away as a nice throw done by Luthner, but it does move the runner over to third. So with 2 down, Henderson is at third, and that'll bring up Chad Ferry.
Little changeup, didn't get much on it. Good play coming in hard by the shortstop to make that an out rather than an infield single.
Chad Ferry looking for his first hit of the season, and this would be a good spot for it. Takes a pitch for a strike.
Good hard slider on the outside corner.
Good look at Chad Ferry, the sophomore out of Greenwood. Misses. He's down 0-2. Ferry got off to a rough start his freshman year. He didn't get his first hit until May, but then really picked it up over the last 12 games, made 11 starts, hit 3 home runs. Fouled it off.
Well, if you're a Clemson hitter, well, you're not going to get anything middle of the plate very often. Making it really tough. Turcotte, the way he's mixing up his pitches and keeping it on the corners. Tremendous job.
0-2 pitch. Fly ball left field. Durkin after it. Brings it in, and the side is retired. Tigers got a leadoff double and leave him stranded at third. We are scoreless after 4. Davis Sharp has been just that today. 4 strikeouts so far through the first 4 innings. He got the first 2 hitters of the inning of the ball game looking and has picked up 2 more since then.
He's mixed up all his pitches, doing fantastic inside, outside, up and down.
Numbers for Davis so far, as you can see, 4 complete. He's allowed 3 hits. Almost want to put an asterisk on the hits. 1 was a bunt, 1 was sort of an excuse me single, and then gave up 1 other base hit that actually dropped. It was kind of a fly ball that fell between 3 of the Tigers in shallow right center field. So Sharp has been outstanding, and again, 4 strikeouts so far, no walks.
Yeah, he gave up 2 putters and a sand wedge. Not bad so far.
He's got 10 strikeouts on the season and just 1 walk. That's a pretty good ratio. As you see, Brett Paulson, the second baseman, leading things off here in the 5th for Stony Brook. Takes a strike. It's 1-1. Paulson, one of those strikeout victims in the second. I'm not sure which direction those strikeout numbers were supposed to be, those letters over there. They've either got 1 going the wrong direction or 3. I guess it depends on your perspective. There's a drive, and it's going to go in for a base hit over the head of Sam Hall. No question on that one. That was an absolute solid base hit, and the leadoff runner is aboard for the Seawolves.
Yeah, one of the few that he left in the middle and belt high and did a nice job at not missing it, because that's the key. If you get your pitch, you've got to make good contact, try and get on.
So we'll see what Stony Brook can do here after the Tigers got their leadoff man aboard in the last half inning and left him stranded. Seawolves get the leadoff man aboard with a base hit this time. Cole Durkin is up. He flew out to the second baseman, Max Starbuck, to end the second inning. Pitch is back as they throw it over to keep an eye on Paulson. Paulson is 0 for 1 in the stolen base category in the first 5 games. The 1-0. Taken for a ball, 2-0.
Really his first time of being behind a hitter so far today.
There's a drive right field. It sends Brewer back, looking at it, and it will go just foul. And I think I heard at least half a dozen Clemson fans just go.
Well, that pitch also was belt high and in, and being behind 2-0. Hitter was ready and drove it, and fortunate to see that one go foul if you're a Clemson fan.
Another throw over to first. Sharp now at the 60 pitch mark here in the 5th. Misses on the outside. 3-1. Durkin, the number 8 hitter in the order for Stony Brook. Ellis Schwartz is on deck. Fly ball, but it's going to be out of play, and that'll now make it a 3-2 count.
Has not hit with his breaking ball. If he could hit right here, he's got a chance of getting a ground ball double play or swing and miss strikeout.
Fouled it away. We'll hold it 3-2.
He threw the slider, just not quite in the right location, just a little bit up, and able to get enough to foul it off.
Looked like he fouled it off his ankle or his calf. 3-2. Fouled it away again.
Good battle by both of them. One threw a good slider, and another one fouled it off and lived to get another pitch.
Davis with the throw over. Of course, keep in mind that Sharp also, when he's not pitching, swing and a miss. Big strikeout there, the first of the inning, then there's one down.
Great pitch. Little change up, even kind of caught the catcher, Hackenberg, a little bit on that one.
So that brings up the right fielder, Ellis Schwartz. But of course, Davis Sharp also plays in the field, or at least DHs for the Tigers. And so far in the young season, he's 4 for 11. He's made 3 starts. So he has started either as a pitcher or in the lineup for the first 5 games. And now 5 of the first 6, runner going. Ball is going to be grounded to the third baseman. The throw over to Ferry, and there's 2 down. The runner does advance.
Nice job by Stony Brook, trying to get something going. Had the runner moving with the hope that he could drive one through the infield with the open spot as they went to cover the bag. but right at the third baseman.
So with 2 down, but a runner in scoring position, Evan Giordano, the third baseman, comes up. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He has a strikeout, then he hit that little pop fly that landed in shallow right center that was good for a base hit. Takes a strike.
Came with a slider. Looked like it was outside, but got the good call. Hackenberg working to pull that ball back on the inside corner.
Popped it out of play. Oh, and 2 is the count on Giordano.
And in command, and here's where you've got to hit with that pitch and get off that field without giving up a run.
Davis will step back. Paulson led off the inning with a strong, sharp single to left. Durkin struck out. Schwartz grounded out the third, but Paulson advanced. Pitches outside and it gets away from Hackenberg, and that's going to let the runner get all the way over to third.
First really wild type pitch from Sharp or any pitcher so far today, and that slider just really, he was just trying to really get the sharpest break possible and just got away from him.
So the wild pitch has the Seawolves with a runner at third with 2 down. Round ball to the left side, coming up throwing, and they get the out, and Sharp and the Tigers get out of the inning. Stony Brook leaves a runner at third as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Tigers and Seawolves are scoreless. Bottom of the 5th inning at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. Clemson and Stony Brook still scoreless. 0-4-0 for the Seawolves. Clemson 0-1-1. 7, 8, and 9 hitters coming up for the Tigers here. In the bottom half of the inning, that's going to be bringing up Briar Hawkins will lead things off. The third baseman who made that nice play at the end of the last inning flew out to end the second, flew out to right field. Still looking for his first hit of the season. So far 0 for 8. Sam Turcotte back to work for Stony Brook. 61 pitches for him through the first 4, and here he is to lead things off in the 5th. Has only allowed just the 1 Tiger hit. Pitch is taken for a ball, 1-0.
A lot of modern day fans don't like 0-0-1-0 games, but I love them. We've talked about that, how we feel how exciting that is. As each inning comes, it gets more and more intense of what's happening on the field.
I'm trying to recall when we had the run last week, but this is a little different game, and that just, the tension does build as, suddenly you see all those zeros on the board, and it's one of those times where 1 run might do it. Fly ball, right field. Schwartz is there, and there's 1 down. I think there are some baseball fans who want a 14-13 game that's played in 2 hours and 45 minutes, and that just doesn't happen.
Nope.
Dylan Brewer walked and stole a base, but was left at second in the third. Takes that first pitch for a strike.
Turcotte actually just a hair stronger right now. 89.5 right there.
Misses again, 0-2. Sam Hall is on deck.
Can't catch up to that fastball right now.
Here's a look at Sam Hall. Goes down swinging. 2 down.
2 fastballs and a little slider. Actually, changeup right there.
Strikeout number 5 for Sam Turcotte. So that brings up Sam Hall with the bases empty. 2 out. Sam flew out to the right fielder the first time up. Again, he's been struggling to start the season. He's got 2 hits, and they brought in runs. He had a solo home run against Liberty, and he had a run-scoring triple in the game yesterday afternoon between these 2 teams. Oh, 1 pitch coming from Turcotte. Quickly ahead, 0-2.
Pitchers are not making it easy on the hitters. You're going to have to battle to try and get a run today.
Turcotte with the 0-2 pitch. Missed high, 1-2. Of course, this Stony Brook program under Matt Sink, we mentioned in his 30th season. 24 of those seasons, he's had winning efforts. Been to the NCAA tournament 6 times. He took a 2012 team to the College World Series with 52 victories. As there's a ground ball that's going to be fielded deep by Luthner. He will not be able to get it there, and a 2-out base hit for Sam Hall. Nicely hit, plus the speed doesn't hurt.
Great baseball there. Good piece of hitting. Drives the ball. Tremendous stop by the shortstop, but could not stop his momentum enough to get a power throw over to first base.
Really hit that to the right spot. So Hall is now aboard, and that brings up Mac Starbuck, the top of the order. Mac is 0 for 2, grounded out to third in the first, and flew out to center in the third. And of course, they'll keep their eye on Sam Hall, who is a threat to steal. Although he does not have an attempt so far this season, but as I mentioned, he hasn't been on base much. And when he hasn't been on base much with the home run and the triple. And he had better than 30 steals last year.
And this is time you definitely want to try and take your shot at that. Have the leadoff hitter coming back if they throw him out, and if not.
A runner is going. The throw by Tuccillo goes into center field, but not deep enough for Hall to advance. He still does get the steal, his first of the season.
Terrific job by the center fielder as he came in behind that throw. Otherwise, there's enough space to try and get to third, but center fielder backed up well.
Well, they're going to call it out to end the inning. You can see Monty Lee is out there arguing right now.
I think they're calling interference from the catcher throwing at the hitter.
They'll call interference on Starbuck. Monty's still pleading his case, but the inning is done. We'll take another look right here. I mean, because he just sort of tilted the bat in his way?
I just don't see it. I think that's looking a little too hard for that there. He was just relaxing and never moved his feet. Body didn't move forward.
Well, nevertheless, 5 innings are now complete at Doug Kingsmore Stadium as we take another look at it. We are 5 through at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. Still scoreless. We're back to talk with Sam Weatherly in a moment. Fred Cunningham, Marty Clary with you. We are joined by Sam Weatherly, the Tigers pitcher who was magnificent yesterday. 14 strikeouts in just 6 innings of work. Sam, how did yesterday feel to you?
Good. Felt good to finally be consistent. After last start, wasn't very consistent in the zone, effectively wild. But I just wanted to be in the zone and throw as many first pitch strikes as I could. So it felt good to, kind of gain some confidence there and have a good outing.
When it's cold like that early in the season, do you feel like you have an advantage in that situation?
Yeah, coming from a cold weather state, up in Michigan, hitters, I really don't think hitters like to, play or swing the bat, while it's cold out. Kind of hurts their hands. So,
What?
so yeah, it is. Jeez, the tables have turned. I've been for 2 years. I've been the guy, doing all this stuff and throwing things at people. So, I'm getting what I deserve right now.
There you go.
But there's certainly an advantage as a pitcher. Guys don't want to swing the bat. It's hard to hit inside pitches as it is, and when you're stinging them in on the hands, it's not fun. So.
You've got some signs up around you that are very entertaining for us.
I'm
Your
sure.
14 strikeouts, the most by a Clemson pitcher since 1996 in the College World Series. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, pretty cool accomplishment. So
We should keep talking to you now that plays resume because the other guys have to go back to work and they can't hassle you. But Sam, we do appreciate you being with us,
Yeah.
and congratulations on that great effort yesterday.
thank you guys. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Good to hear from Sam Weatherly. He was impressive, and he held up under pressure pretty well. Ground ball going to be deep enough for a base hit, and it's a leadoff single for Stanton Luthner. And once again, the leadoff man aboard for Stony Brook.
And if you didn't notice, they had that shift on, so your typical second baseman was not in his spot. That would have been an easy play, but they had shifted him directly behind second base, and so though it wasn't hit hard, it was hit in the right place.
Chris Hamilton now up, 1 for 2. He had that infield single, you'll remember. Back in the first, he struck out swinging to end the third. Again, he's off to a slow start after being a .325 hitter last season. Takes the first pitch outside. Hamilton on the season is 5 for 21. He's struck out 8 times so far, 4 of them yesterday and 1 more again today as they keep an eye over on first base at Luthner, who does have a steal on the season. Top of the 6th inning at Doug Kingsmore Stadium, a scoreless game between Clemson and Stony Brook. Gave him the outside corner 1-1.
Nice comeback pitch there. Change up on the outside corner. Really trying hard to get that hitter to roll his hands over and get a ground ball that might turn 2.
The pitch from Sharp. Grounded off. Foul, 1-2.
Stony Brook just has not had anything to gain confidence off of, and it's so important in sports. One good thing that's contagious leads to the next good thing.
Pitch wound up in the dirt, but Hackenberg was able to track it down. Runner at first was held there, Luthner. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. With nobody out here in the top of the 6th. Fouled it off almost the same way again.
Good cutter on the hands. Just ate him up inside.
Here comes pitch number 80 for Davis Sharp. Fly ball, center field. Mikowski is there, but he's actually going to be called off by the right fielder, Brewer, who brings it in, and there's 1 down. Ball kind of hooked a little bit from center toward right.
Not a great location. That ball was up, but the hitters just are not seeing the breaking ball very well. Anything off speed, and just looped it underneath that pitch a little bit and hit a fly ball.
Tuchillo had an infield single, then grounded out to third to lead off the 4th inning. Luthner is at first. Runner is going. Hackenberg throwing from his knees, and it is off target, and there's the stolen base by Luthner, and they've got a runner in scoring position.
Really had no chance with the jump that he got, and he had to try and throw from his knees. Couldn't get enough on it, nor accurate.
There's Adam Hackenberg, and he'll settle back in now. So Sharp once again in a position where they've got a runner in scoring position, and there's one down. Missed. 2-0. Keyshawn Askew has been warming up in the Clemson bullpen. Looks ready to go if needed. Fouled it back. That makes it 2-1. We just think at this early point of the season, as you take a look at Keyshawn Askew, I would just think at this point, would be the last inning for Sharp, regardless of how it goes.
Yeah, and that's smart by getting Keyshawn ready just in case. You don't want to have a big inning either.
Brendan Disnell is a freshman pitcher for Stony Brook, and he's also warmed up and ready to go in the Stony Brook bullpen. 3-1 pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. 3-2.
Good comeback slider, but you notice he's starting to get higher and higher in the zone with that, and that can be detrimental after you've seen the pitcher a couple times round.
3-2 pitch. Got him struck out swinging, and there's 2 away.
And just as I say that, he comes back with one that's perfect, down and away, and that's detrimental to hitters.
Strikeout number 6 for Davis Sharp. And so it's now up to Christian Montez, the center fielder. He is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. Once to third and once to the pitcher. Runner at second with 2 away. There's a strike down the middle. 0-1.
Good first strike fastball. I think they're looking slider with the runner in scoring position after just striking out the hitter before, who's right-handed.
Fly ball. Right field racing after it was Starbuck, but it's Brewer's ball, and he brings it in, and the half inning is complete. A leadoff man is left stranded. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is still scoreless. Sam Turcotte has been outstanding for Stony Brook. He's shut the Tigers out through 5 strikeouts, a couple of walks, and just 2 hits allowed.
Yeah, and we're moving to that time of the game now where you've done your job, but we can't leave you out there if things get in trouble because we got to get fresh arms in just in case. So everybody's going to be ready probably going from this point forward.
As we mentioned, Brendan Disnell, a freshman right-hander, has warmed up, and he's ready to go if needed, but Turcotte will go out to start the 6th inning, and he's going to face the 2, 3, and 4 hitter for the Tigers, and that's going to lead off with Kier Meredith. Kier is 0 for 2 on the day. He is struck out twice, once looking and once swinging. Pitch is outside, but taken for a strike. 0-1.
Leadoff changeup. I mean, he's done everything, changing speeds, good locations.
Kier lays down the bunt, but it's going to go foul. And quickly it's 0-2. You'll see exactly where that ball went down. Yep, just hit right off home plate. Good look at Sam Turcotte, the starter for the Seawolves. The 0-2 pitch Got him swinging. That is now 3 strikeouts for Kier Meredith, and there's 1 down.
Just perfect locations, good bite on his slider. Really hard on hitters to make contact with that.
So that brings up Elijah Henderson. He had that double to lead off the 4th, but was left stranded. Missed outside, 2-0.
Turcotte does not look tired at all. Actually looks like he's getting stronger as this game has been moving along.
Been working fairly quickly as he gets the pitch in there for a ball, though, but now it's a 3-0 count. The 3-0 walked him on 4 pitches, so the Tigers get the base runner aboard. With 1 down here in the 6th inning. And there is the Stony Brook bullpen, and there is Brendan Disnell, freshman right-hander from Shenandoah, New York. He's been ready since the 5th inning, and he's been pretty reliable for them so far. He had the save in their only victory so far. Adam Hackenberg is up with the runner aboard. Adam is 0-2 so far, struck out looking in the 1st, struck out swinging in the 4th. Took a swing and missed it.
Turcotte gets the walk and now trying to put a dent in that armor that he's had on all day.
Goes to the plate. Ball inside, 1-1.
That pitch was probably a strike, but the catcher started away and had to jump back in and kind of shift the eyes of the umpire there and did not get the call.
One pitch, outside, 2-1. Just the way this game is going, it might be another one of those. It might just take 1 run to make the difference, because we're about to see fresh arms coming in for both teams. But Turcotte continues to be well. That one's in the dirt, and that's going to be a wild pitch that will let the base runner Henderson gets all the way to second.
Now he has his first wild pitch type situation where he tried to overthrow that and bounced it well in front of the plate and skipped away and allowed the runner get down to second.
So Hackenberg now is a runner in scoring position, and it's a 3-1 count. And he'll step back. Hackenberg has been a 300 hitter so far this season with runners in scoring position. He will let that one miss on the outside, and the Tigers get 2 aboard with 1 out, back-to-back walks. And here comes Bo Mikowski.
And just after we said he's getting stronger and stronger now, he just falls behind and gives up 2 all on his own, 2 walks.
This is the pitching coach coming out for Stony Brook. I believe that is Jim Martin. As you take a look once again in the Stony Brook bullpen, there is Brendan Disnell. Kier Meredith struck out to start the inning. Back-to-back walks. Henderson advanced to second on the wild pitch, but it would have been the same result after Hackenberg walked, as the Clemson fans making a little noise about the extended visit to the mound for the Seawolves.
And this will probably be his last hitter if it doesn't go well.
Bukowski 0 for 2. Looking for his first hit of the season. Now would be a good time. Fouled it off to the right side. He was a .248 hitter a season ago. He had a terrific first half of 2019. The 0-1. Missed it 0-2.
That little mound visit has helped Turcotte just kind of calm down, relax, get his breath, realize, man, I've been throwing good. All I need to do is get back in the strike zone. And he's ahead 0-2.
He's only allowed 2 hits but 4 walks. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Tuccillo is able to track it down. The runners do not advance, and it's 1-2.
Probably should have been able to advance on that. As you see that ball immediately kick out, he's going to have to chase that down, and he's going away from third base. That probably should have been a keep coming off, and go.
Yeah, you can see a little indecisiveness on the pace, and you can also see just a little like, yeah, I think he
frustration.
agreed with you, yeah.
Little frustration.
On Henderson, and a strikeout there. Bukowski goes down, and there's 2 away.
Came with the changeup and had him in front.
So a couple of strikeouts and a couple of walks. So with 2 away, here's Chad Ferry, the first baseman. The 90th pitch from Turcotte is high for a ball. Ferry 0 for 7 on the season. He's walked a couple of times. He's only got 1 strikeout. Swing and a miss there. He's got a couple of long fly ball outs to left field, including back in the second that came about 7 yards short of a home run, as you see him miss.
Turcotte messing with him. He's just not throwing what they think they're going to throw. Every time he thinks it's a fastball, he throws something different.
Fouled it back, 1-2.
That looked like a fastball, but it was a changeup, and again, the hitter well out in front.
The battle between Turcotte and Ferry with 2 down. Ground ball right side, but it's going to be at Paulson, the second baseman, and the side is retired. The Tigers leave 2. 6 complete. We are scoreless at Clemson. New pitcher for the Tigers is Keyshawn Askew, the left-hander, sophomore, 6'4", out of Powder Springs, Georgia. His second appearance. He pitched a week ago today against Liberty. Pitched 2 innings, 2 scoreless innings. Gave up a couple of hits, struck out 2. He had 3 walks in that game. Of course, if you were with us 1 week ago, and a pretty good freshman season for Askew. He was 2-1 with a ERA of 4.40. He's got that odd delivery.
He does. He's got a sling kind of arm release that makes it extremely difficult to pick up the timing on the pitch that's thrown coming to the plate. Monty Lee was saying before the game that he is one of the best athletes on this squad as far as all his power measurements and explosiveness, and wouldn't be surprised if he is one of the better pro prospects as he continues to improve. And you know, he's 6'4" and a hulky 180, so as he gets a little stronger and a little more bulk, he's expecting him to really come up a notch even from where he is now.
Brad Hipsley, the designated hitter, will lead things off here for Stony Brook in the top of the 7th. First pitch from Askew misses. Davis Sharp's day, 6 complete. Scoreless, 6 innings. He gave up 5 hits, Struck out 6, no walks. Askew misses again. 2-0. Hipsley is 0 for 2 on the day. Flew out to center and grounded out to third. Askew works quickly. He's missed his first 3 pitches, and it's suddenly a chance for Stony Brook to get the leadoff man aboard again.
Yeah, and this is the time of game where it becomes real crucial that we don't walk people, whether you're on Clemson or Stony Brook, that you stay in the strike zone and you take what comes by making them put the ball in play.
This is the 3rd straight inning that Stony Brook has been able to get the leadoff man aboard. I'll bring up Brett Paulson. Paulson led off the 5th with a base hit to left field. Also struck out looking today. Askew gets his first strike call of this appearance, and it's 0-1.
Keyshawn throwing about 89.
You can see they're showing the bunt, but it pitches inside and misses. It's 1-1. Hipsley has not attempted a stolen base, if you were wondering, for Stony Brook. Runner going, fouled back and out of play.
Coach Sink trying to get something going with a hit and run. Keyshawn made a good pitch, and all he could do was foul it off.
Tigers have 2 more relievers up. Nick Hoffman is one of them. There's going to be a base hit right field. Runners will hold at second, so it's 2 up and 2 on for the Seawolves with nobody out here in the 7th.
So an 0-2 pitch, and he went to the slider, and what you want to do is bring that down and in on the back foot of the hitter, and instead it started outside and came in over the plate and sliced it into right field for a base hit.
As again, Nick Hoffman and Paul Labriola are both warming up right now for the Tigers as Cole Durkin steps in there with 2 on, nobody out. He is 0 for 2 on the day. Flew out the 2nd, struck out in the 5th. There's those 2 Tiger relievers. A right-hander and a left-hander.
Good fake move there, and you saw the hitter gave himself away, so expecting bunt.
Tight shot there of Cole Durkin, the left fielder. Showed bunt, misses. 1-0. Durkin 1 for 9 so far on the season. Takes that pitch for a strike. It'll even it up.
Little cat and mouse here between Stony Brook and Clemson, as that time he was not bunting but looking to maybe drive a ball through the infield.
Lays down the bunt, but it's going to go foul left side, and it's now 1-2.
Advantage Keyshawn with that sling release. It's very difficult to figure out where that ball's coming from and how to get contact with it. So gets ahead, 2 strikes now, and we'll see if that forces them to swing away.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball right side. It's going to be handled by Ferry, who will step on first. So they get the out, but the runners advance to 2nd and 3rd with 1 away.
Good job by the hitter and Keyshawn. And really, I mean, he made the pitch. Runners were too far advanced to get a double play, but you got an out.
So now the best scoring chance really for either team. They both have had a runner at 3rd, but You've got Seawolves at second and third with just one out. Number 9 hitter in the order, Ellis Schwartz, comes up. The right fielder is 0 for 2. Askew's pitch. Took a swing and missed. 0-1 on Schwartz.
That's about as good as you can throw a slider there, lefty versus lefty. Started behind him. He starts bailing out because he thinks it's going to be inside, and it sweeps all the way across to the outside corner. Again, same pitch.
Fooled him twice with it.
That's a big league slider if you can throw that consistently for a strike.
The 0-2 pitch. Time called before he could deliver it. And the Clemson fans do not like that.
Looked like he waited a little too long to call that, and he was already started in his windup.
Ellis Schwartz waiting for the pitch. In the dirt. Hackenberg keeps it in front of him. 1-2.
Tremendous play by the catcher right there. That ball easily could skip away for a run, and not only did he block it, but he kept it close to recover so they could not advance.
Askew's 1-2 pitch. Taken inside for a strikeout, and there are 2 down. First strikeout for Keyshawn.
You can just tell he's thinking that the ball's right at me, and it ends up an inch or 2 on the plate. And you could see him shuffle back. That's nasty.
So 2 down. Runners at second and third. Top of the order, Evan Giordano. He's got a single sandwiched between a strikeout and a ground out to third, and Adam Hackenberg will take a walk out there to talk to Keyshawn Askew.
This is the time you got now 2 outs. You don't want to have a misread between your signal and his, thinking what pitch he's going to throw, so they're just locking that in to make sure that he doesn't fool him on a pitch, throw something he didn't really call.
Tigers have another pitcher up now. That is Sheldon Reed, senior. Hoffman also still throwing. Sheldon Reed, a converted outfielder. And now Monty Lee is going to take a walk out.
And
very slow walk out.
Yeah, and Keyshawn really was very frustrated by seeing him come out. Really that's the competitor in him. However, this was one of those moves in a nothing ball game. He's wanting to do the high percentage and go probably righty.
Has a talk with him, and he's going to make a move, and the Tigers will go to the bullpen. We will talk about the new Clemson pitcher when we come back. Third pitcher for the Tigers is number 36, Sheldon Reed, a 6'3" right-hander from Bradley, South Carolina. As I mentioned, he's a converted outfielder. This is his second appearance of the season. Gave up 1 run in his only appearance with no strikeouts and a couple of walks. 22-year-old taking his warm-up pitchers. He's the third pitcher for the Tigers, and he comes in with his team in a scoreless game against Stony Brook. The Seawolves have 2 on, but there are 2 out. Those runners are Hipsley at third and Paulson at second.
So Monty Lee decides to play the percentages there and brings in Reed to try and go righty versus righty and hope he's hitting with his slider, because if he is, they've shown that they've not been making great contact with that. So this is one of those chess matches where try and just play the percentages and match up as best you can.
He's going to be facing, as we mentioned, Evan Giordano, the third baseman for Stony Brook. And Giordano has, the one hit he has is that one you might remember back in the third inning, just a little soft fly ball that fell into shallow right center between second, the center fielder, and the right fielder. And there's a look right there at Hipsley, who led things off with a walk on 4 pitches against Keyshawn Askew and has made his way all the way over to third, and you've got Paulson at second. So a big spot for Reed here. Reed against Giordano. Here in the top of the 7th, his first pitch. Taken for a ball. 1-0.
Really good bite, but he has got to throw strikes with that or they're just going to take it.
Good look at Evan Giordano. Missed again, 2-0. Giordano, a sophomore from Sewell, New Jersey. Two-0 pitch. Taken for a strike, 2-1.
And for those of you at home, he's throwing 94. So Mondelez knows what he's doing and trying to get these matchups.
2-1 pitch. Takes it, evens it up, 2-2.
Another fastball. Look at it cut from middle of the plate to outside corner. So he's got now anything. He can throw anything. Fastball on a corner or a good slider.
Lays off it, and we're going to have a full count at 3-2.
So he needed to put that just anywhere close to the zone, and he was swinging. You saw he even tried to flinch at that one.
First base is open. The 3-2 pitch from Reed. Time is called. It is early in the season, obviously, but Giordano is hitting .400 with runners in scoring position and .800 with 2 out. Here's that 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and the substitution for the Tigers works well. Reed gets that out. Let's take a couple of looks at it as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Stony Brook got the first 2 on. They got him to second and third, and they do not advance. We go to the bottom of the 7th. We are still scoreless. The new pitcher for Stony Brook is the right-hander Ben Farrow. He's a sophomore over Trumbull, Connecticut. He had a rough first outing, took the loss, only pitched 2 complete innings, gave up 3 runs on 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, and a couple of walks. He comes in with the bottom of the 7th in a scoreless game, and he will face the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Tigers, and Briar Hawkins will lead things off. Hawkins is 0 for 2 on the day with a couple of fly ball outs to right field. First pitch is taken for a ball. Turcotte's day ended. He pitched 6 complete, 6 scoreless innings. Struck out 7, walked 4, only allowed 2 hits to the Tigers. That hit by the pitch, so the Tigers get the leadoff man aboard. Hawkins gets hit by the pitch in the hip.
So he came in, first pitch was a changeup, about 74 miles an hour, and then came back with a fastball that looks like hits him around thigh.
Yeah.
And throwing about 86, 87.
This is the first time the Tigers have had the leadoff man aboard since the 4th. Dylan Brewer comes up, 0 for 1, walked and stole a base and struck out swinging the last time as they work Hawkins at first. Breyer has not attempted a steal this season. Big cut missed by Brewer. 0-1.
Starts him with the fastball and just, head pulling out a little bit. Really just needs to make a little shorter contact on that swing.
The 0-1 pitch from Farrow. Got him to swing at that one. It's 0-2. Brewer, 6'2" freshman.
Got a good little sink on that. Even though he's only 85, 86, it's got a little movement.
Missed outside, 1-2. No runs, 2 hits, an error for the Tigers, 0-6-0 for Stony Brook. We are in the bottom of the 7th. Fouled it away again. Sent Briar Hawkins back to first. Brewer, the highly touted freshman out of Latta, South Carolina. Farrow dropped the ball. They're going to call a balk, and that's going to send Hawkins to second, and now he goes into scoring position.
So he just went to pick it up, and it just slips right out of his hand. You'll see right here as he brings it in front, just rolls it right out of his fingertips, and it's automatic balk. And now this is crucial for AB, for Brewer. He's got to make contact and get him to third.
He made contact, nicely played, but then dropped by Hamilton, the first baseman. And you can see Brewer beat it out, and the Tigers get a great break there. They've got runners at the corners. He did his job to move the runner, but then got the bonus of getting to first.
He hit a bullet. It really was a good shot. Got slipped under the glove of first baseman, and no chance after that. Runner moving along. Taking a look just to see if that ball gets away. He's ready to head home.
They're going to call the error on the play. And as you can see, once again, we got the pitching coach for Stony Brook making the visit to the mound. Warming up in the bullpen for Stony Brook is Disnell. We mentioned him a little bit earlier. Just spending a little bit more time out there. I believe that is Jim Martin. Now Clemson has got a golden opportunity. They've got runners at first and third. There's nobody out. And in a lot of ways right now, if you're Farrow, you got to be frustrated. You hit by a pitch, balked him to second, and then an error on a play like that on an absolute shot. Yeah. But now you got runners at first and third, and
you can't ever, this leads to that. However, if he doesn't balk him, that's a bullet into outfield. He's not there playing that, so it's hard to know. You don't want to start the inning, obviously, that way with a hit batsman. Late in the game, those walks and hit batsmen tend to come back to haunt you.
So that brings up Sam Hall. Sam singled the last time up. That was in the 5th. Hall is struggling a little bit to start the season. They're batting in that number 9 spot. But he comes up in a big situation here. Fly ball right field, chasing after it is Schwartz. Goes into foul territory, brings it in. Is it deep enough to get the run in? Here comes the throw. It is there and not in time. The run scores, and Clemson takes the 1-0 lead. And the Seawolves are arguing this one. And now you're going to get a further argument, because coming out now is Matt Sank.
Yeah, and I don't know that replays are available at this point, but if so, they'll probably ask for it.
It looked like the throw was going to get there in time.
Yeah, I think the throw was there in time. I just wonder of whether he tagged him high and his leg got in. And that's only one probably can tell by slow-mo.
Yeah, the umpires are on their way right now. That's toward the Clemson dugout. That's the chance. That's the place where they can go to get a chance to see. And you're going to get a good look at it right here. We're going to hold it until the umpires get a chance to watch it as well. But right now, this is a huge call. The ruling right now on the field is that Hawkins is safe.
And I think his foot is over the plate, and I think they're going to call him out.
I think they are too. He kicks them. You can see he kicks the chalk up, but then
the heel never really hits the plate.
Yeah, I think by the time he hits the plate, the glove is going to be on his elbow.
See it from this angle. I think it rides.
We're going frame by frame here.
If his foot had been down on the plate, he would have been safe. And I think the umpire, you see it right in here.
Yeah.
That foot is never on the plate. So he's tagging him now.
I think, yeah, by the time he gets his heel down, I think he's already been tagged. He has not hit the plate, hasn't hit the plate.
Tagged right there.
I think that they're going to come back and rule this one out, because I think his heel hit the plate before his knee did, but I think by that time the catcher Tuchillo has made the tag. We gave you 3 looks at it. This is the best one to judge where his feet are as far as there. He's touched the base, but by that time I think he's already made it. We're waiting for the umpires to come back out. They actually go into a room beyond the dugout. But it looks like I think we got a chance at an overturn right here. They looked at 3 angles, but they went back and forth and just really super slow-mo'd it, kind of looked at it on a frame-by-frame thing, and here come the umpires back out. And this is big, and they're going to call him out. You can see the call made right there. So the challenge works out for Stony Brook. And that changes a lot of things, because now, because of the fly ball out and the runner out of the plate, you've got Max Starbuck coming up now, but you've only got a runner at first.
Yeah, and to the umpire's credit, where the foot was at the plate, he would have been safe, but it just didn't get on it.
Yep, lays down a bunt to try to get a board. There's the throw, and it's going to be nailed and caught nicely by Hamilton. Great play by Farrow. So the Tigers get a couple on board, but they can't get anything across. We are still scoreless. We're going to the 8th, Clemson and Stony Brook. Watch Ellis Schwartz and the play that he made. This was huge back in the last half inning. Watch this throw. And you were talking about the fact that being a left-handed right fielder made the difference.
Yeah, if he has to turn his body to get power behind the throw, that extra time would have been enough for him to get across the plate. But being left-handed, he kept his shoulder to the throw and was able to release it immediately.
So what looked like it could have been a sac fly that would have brought in the first run of the game. Schwartz makes the great throw to make the second out of the inning. And now here he is leading things off here in the 8th inning. Actually, check that. That's Stanton Luthner. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Luthner is 1 for 3 on the day. singled and stole a base in the 6th, but was left stranded. Both teams showing bunt. I mean, we're at that tense time. Everyone's doing everything they can just to scratch one run.
Yeah, and that's the slider that is really sharp that he throws for strikes. He's going to be dominant.
Sheldon Reed in relief. That's a 3-pitch strikeout. Man, he is enthusiastic. That one was about 85 miles an hour.
So he's thrown 94 straight, and then he sweeps it all the way across the plate at 84. That's just not right. And he is excited.
And he loves it.
And he likes that for sure.
So with one down, here comes Chris Hamilton. The Stony Brook first baseman fouls it out of play. He's 1 for 3. He's got that infield single that was back in the 1st, struck out and flew out in the 6th. Each team has left 7 runners in this game. Gets the call, 0-2. Sheldon Reed came in relief of Keyshawn Askew. Had the strikeout to end the 7th. Top of the 7th, I should say. And here we are in the top of the 8th. And he's staying in there. Misses that time, he's 1-2. Reed's pitch in the dirt, misses, 2-2.
Needs to try and find his release point on lefties for that slider. He has not had a good slider against the lefty yet.
Hamilton 5 for 22 to start the season. That one missed badly, and you can see that, well, Reed knows it and maybe has injured himself a little bit here, and very quickly Clemson trainer coming out.
He felt something in his
Yeah.
elbow.
And they're going to take him out right here, and then they're going to take it immediately. So just something with that throw as he came through, and as it came up short. We will be right back. Scoreless game at Clemson. We're in the top of the 8th, the Tigers and Stony Brook. The new pitcher for Clemson, the freshman right-hander Nick Hoffman out of Centerville, Ohio. He made his debut just on Wednesday against Furman. He got the win. He pitched 3 innings of relief, 3 scoreless innings, struck out 3, and gave up a couple of hits. He's been called on, and he's getting some extra pitching time because of the injury to Sheldon Reed. Let's see if we can show you what happened here. You can see something happened as he was following through there. The pitch was well short, and this did not take long as they very quickly came out, gave a quick check at him, and Sheldon Reed is left. Reed was off to a strong start. He had struck out his first 2 he had faced. That pitch was a 2-2 count. So Nick Hoffman will come in, and he's facing Chris Hamilton, and his first pitch will be vital because it's with a 3-2 count. 1 down here in the Stony Brook 8th. First pitch from Hoffman. Fouled it, or actually hit it clean, but it's going to be fielded nicely and taken in. And Ferry does his job, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, that's a great job by Hoffman coming in. Just get the strike. Hitter hasn't seen you, has no idea, but he's got to be swinging if it's anything close, and didn't make good contact. Great play by Ferry. Now you got 2 away.
So with 2 down, here's John Tuccillo, the catcher. He's got a hit on the afternoon. Bases are empty here in the top of the 8th. Took a cut and missed.
good confidence there, came right in through a slider.
0-2.
Good fastball, about 88, 89.
Hoffman working quickly. The throw. There's a ground ball to Sam Hall. Hall the throw to Ferry. And the throw is going to be not there, and it's going to be with 2 out. Tuchillo will get aboard.
Yeah, the easy ground ball, but he sits back a little too long, takes an extra step, and just let it ride a little high.
The throw is high. Tuchillo is going to be given a base hit. So with a runner at first and 2 down, here's the center fielder, Christian Montez.
I'm not sure how you get a base hit on that.
I don't
Get a
either.
guy
Yeah.
jumping off the bag. I guess they felt like either way he was going to beat it.
Ground ball at Hall. Hall will make the quicker throw, the shorter throw to Starbuck and get the force at second. So the single does not hurt the Tigers in this case. We will go to the bottom of the 8th. Clemson nothing, Stony Brook nothing. The new pitcher for Stony Brook is Brendan Dissonell. He's a freshman right-hander from Shenandoah, New York. This is his second appearance of the season. He's got the save in the only Seawolves victory of the season against Texas State. He pitched 1 inning last weekend. No strikeouts, no walks, no hits allowed in that inning, no runs. And again, he picked up that save, and he will come in the bottom of the 8th inning and facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters from the Tigers in a scoreless game. Kiera Meredith will now lead things off here, as we're just hearing that they have now changed their minds as far as the official scoring. They have given Sam Hall an error on that play back in the last inning that we were wondering about. So, of course, that was wiped out by the next ground ball anyway.
Must have been looking at social media.
That's how things are done these days, right? Strike taken by Meredith. Again, he has struggled. He's struck out all 3 times, twice swinging, once looking. His average at 368 on the season. Of course, with his speed, this would be a great guy for the Tigers to get aboard here in a scoreless game.
Dissonell has a strange release point, too. It's a little short-arming, and it gives you an extra cut along the ball. His breaking ball is really sharp.
And he hits Kiera Meredith. That's the second hit by a pitch for the Tigers on the day. And Meredith feeling it a little bit on the knee, the side of the knee, as he makes his way to first.
That was not a good location. It looked like right on the bony part of the knee. And I'm sure he's really, really feeling that one.
I mean, this is the kind of base runner you want in, but it just hit, just below the kneecap area.
Yeah,
I know that bone you're talking about,
Yeah, it's close to the skin and really innervated. Can be real painful when it's hit by sharp objects.
So Meredith is aboard, and that brings up Elijah Henderson, who has reached all 3 times today. He's walked a couple of times. He's got a double. Comes in a big situation for the Tigers. Meredith is at first, and they'll start working on him to try to keep him close.
Well, you wonder if his knee hurts so bad that you can't run him, or I would say
he's one of the fastest guys on the teams, but he's so far 1 for 3 on the season in stolen bases. Let's see, Henderson missed. And they make the quick throw back, and they were able to get Meredith. So just like that, they erase Kiera at first. You see, he takes his walk back, the quick throw, and they got him. And I think that reaction says it all. So that changes things immediately. Now bases are empty with one out. And a strike taken. It's 0-2. Scoreless game at Clemson, bottom of the 8th inning. Fly ball, right side. Hamilton chases after it, but it goes well into the seats. Let's give you another look at it again as the quick pickoff, nicely done by Dissanel as he made the quick throw over to Hamilton. So after getting picked off, bases are empty with one out. Henderson looking at the 0-2 pitch. Time is taken. Henderson on the season up to .556 at this point. Misses way outside, 1-2.
Throwing about 85, but with that odd release.
Another hit by a pitch. Third of the game. Third in the last 2 innings. Clemson has more hit by pitches than they do hits in this game.
Which makes the not paying attention, get back to first even more painful for Coach Lee.
Could potentially have runners at first and second right now with nobody out. Instead, you got a runner at first with one down. And here's Adam Hackenberg, who struck out twice and then walked the last time up in the 6th. The Tigers' cleanup hitter. Fly ball. Third baseman calling for it. Now it's going to be the shortstop who will take it. That's Luthner who brings it in, and there's 2 away. So the runner remains at first. That is Henderson. And with 2 down, here's Bo Mikowski. Mikowski is 0 for 3 on the day. Grounded, foul. It'll be 0-1. Mikowski just hit a strong line drive, but he hit it right at Paulson, the second baseman, in the second. Grounded out to third and struck out swinging in the 6th.
Tigers not with a lot of good ABs so far today. The Stony Brook pitchers have really done a great job of getting them off balance and getting them to swing at pitches that really are not good hitting pitches.
Ground ball, right side, Paulson deep, throws it. Not quite on target, but you can see Hamilton made the stretch and brought it in. Tigers leave 1. We go to the 9th. It is still scoreless. Freshman Nick Clayton, the right-hander, is the 5th Tigers pitcher on the day. A freshman out of York, a top 40 freshman according to Perfect Game. This is his 2nd appearance of 2020. He pitched 2 scoreless innings so far. Struck out 2, gave up a hit and a walk. Again, he's the 5th Tiger pitcher. We've been watching these young guys for Clemson, and it's been almost like top this with what we've been seeing so far. It's almost like, what a great freshman performance, and it's like, hold my non-alcoholic beer for the next guy.
Yeah, and Stony Brook too. I mean, they're both battling to win a ball game, a big ball game for both of them in this one sense, and yet not so big that we can't get our guys in the games in pressure situations so that we can be ready for conference play when it matters the most. So pretty tough on coaches to try and do all the things they need to do to be ready for when it matters the very most.
6, 7, and 8 hitters up for Stony Brook here in the top of the 9th. And a swing and a miss by Brad Hipsley, the designated hitter, on the first pitch from Clayton. Hipsley on the day has flown out, grounded out, and he walked on 4 pitches against Keyshawn Askew. back in the 7th.
Was real impressed with Clayton. I believe it was against Liberty we saw him, and just came in, mixed up all kinds of pitches right off the bat, threw them all for strikes. Just very impressive for a young man.
Pitch is taken 2-1. Yeah, we recall he came in and Borascu last Saturday, and those first couple of pitches really shaky, which you would think for a freshman his first time out. And then once he kind of got settled, he was just lights out.
Yep.
There is a fly ball charging after it and making the grab. Nicely done, Elijah Henderson. That is a big first out. Wow.
Great play by the Tiger outfielder. And just those nails in the coffin, I'm sure it feels like for Stony Brook when they get a leadoff hit like that looks like it could be a start of something, and come up with a great play. Look at the diving, stretching. Great play by Henderson.
Elijah Henderson robs a hit to lead off the 9th. That brings up Brett Paulson. Paulson has a couple of hits. His last 2 times up. The pitch, right down the middle, 1-1. The 6, 7, and 8 hitters are due up for the Tigers in their half of the 9th. The pitch from Clayton. Ground or a fly ball, actually a drive down the right field line. It's going to go foul. It's a good look at Dylan Brewer in right field.
So one's robbed line drive, and that one misses by inches.
Yeah. Here in the Seawolves, you've had a couple of good swings at it so far, but nothing to show for it here in the 9th. A ball and 2 strikes. Lays off it. Gets the ball call. It'll make it 2-2. Two-two pitch. Ground ball. Gonna go for a base hit up the middle. Sam Hall can't get there in time. And for Brett Paulson, that's his 3rd hit of the day.
So a fastball down and in, and just a good piece of hitting there. It just found a hole.
It brings up Cole Durkin, the left fielder. 0 for 3 on the day. Grounded out to the first baseman the last time up in the 7th. Paulson at first. There is one away. Right down the middle for a strike.
Stony Brook's had some good swings so far off Clayton, and he has not hit as often with his changeup like that one right there, or his breaking ball.
Thrower to first. Missed it, 0-2.
Back-to-back changeups.
Nick Clayton's 0-2 pitch is on the way. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. There's 2 away.
Back-to-back-to-back changeups, and just never did make the adjustment. And he threw it in a perfect spot.
Tigers are now up to 10 strikeouts on the day between these 5 pitchers. And with 2 down, Ellis Schwartz, who made that run-saving throw from right field that kept Clemson off the board, comes up. He's 0 for 3 on the day. We're about 40 minutes right now from sunset. As you can see, the appeal to first, and the fans don't like this call.
pulled it back. Just left it a long time, but he pulled it back.
Throw over to first. Well, we're about 40 minutes from sunset. You can see the shadows right now, and it's getting close to, well, it's actually now covering home plate. So maybe for the next few minutes might be an even bigger advantage for the pitchers.
Yeah, that's a great point. That ball goes from sun to shadow and can be very difficult to pick it up.
Another look at that as he foul tipped it away. But here's what we're talking about. You can see the shadow right there. If you're at home plate, you're in the shadow. Still a little time of sunshine. I'm not a meteorologist, but
right in there.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at that.
I wish I hadn't erased that. I would have bought that paper. Pitch is high. Snap throw to first. Not in time, as you can see that Paulson was able to get back.
He was off there a good ways, but by the time you get it down there, he was able to get back.
2 balls and a strike. 2 down. Foul ball out of play down the left side. Well into the stands area. Look at Ellis Schwartz out of Cherry Hill, New Jersey. He's 1 for 8 on the season. Fly ball out of play, left side again. Nick Clayton in relief. By the way, let's see what kind of action we had for this ball. Someone's got to be careful going under there with that fence. And another time where time is called. I believe that happened with Keyshawn Askew a little bit earlier. Did he stop the throw? Clayton made the throw that time, but there's no pitch. The 2-2. Ground ball. It's going to be fielded by Starbuck. The throw to first, and the side is retired. A hit, but nothing doing for Stony Brook in the ninth. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Clemson coming up in a scoreless game. Bottom of the ninth inning, the new pitcher, the 4th of the day for Stony Brook, is Brian Morrissey. He's a junior right-hander. He's got 1 appearance on the season. It did not go particularly well. He pitched 3 innings at Texas State. He gave up 7 runs in 4 innings. He gave up 4 runs in 3 innings of work, allowing 7 hits, 1 strikeout, and no walks. And he will face, in this scoreless game in the bottom of the ninth, it'll be Chad Ferry, Dylan Brewer, and Sam Hall are due up for the Tigers. So Chad Ferry leads things off, the first baseman. 0 for 3 on the day, looking for his first hit of 2020. Takes that pitch for a strike. And as you can see right now, the shadow issue has now gone. Pretty much most of the field except for left is now in the shadows as we get closer to sundown. Pitch gets away, 1-1. And there's the wide shot right there. It's only a little bit of trouble right now for the left fielder, as the sun is set behind the trees and everything else outside Doug Kingsmore Stadium. There's a shot to the second baseman. Paulson covers it, makes the throw, and nicely done to get the out. Excellent play by Brett Paulson to get Ferry.
And so just as Coach Sink had been saying, he's happy the way that they're pitching and the way they're playing defense. That's a good example right there of some of the plays that they've been making that robbed them of a base hit.
So a good look right there. And now here is Briar Hawkins. Hawkins got hit by a pitch the last time up to reach base. And the pitch goes away. It's 1-0. Briar is also looking for his first hit of the season. He's 0 for 9 so far. Pitch misses, 2-0. Sam Hall is on deck. Correct. That's Dylan Brewer's on deck. Sam Hall would be the fourth hitter of the inning. Pitch is low, 3-0.
Well, she's thrown all three pitches, fastball, a changeup, a slider.
See what he does here on 3-0. Misses. So a one-out walk to Briar Hawkins on 4 pitches. Now Dylan Brewer comes up. And now Monty Lee is going to make a substitution here. He's going to pinch run here. He's going to be bringing Pierce Gallo. There's a look at the freshman from Marietta, Georgia. So Hawkins does his job. Gallo, you might remember, pulled in the final out in that victory against Furman on Wednesday night. Takes his lead at first with 1 down. This is inside, 1-0.
Almost a wild pitch right there, and you got a good runner at first, and you want to try and draw a throw, try and see what his move is a little bit. Maybe get a little extra with a one-way lead that you're coming back on first movement a little bit.
Stony Brook is going to stay with Brian Morrissey. There is no activity right now in their bullpen. They're depending on him now with 1 out and 1 on here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Two-0 pitch. Takes for a strike, 2-1.
Tough pitch not to swing on. 2-0 advantage. Righty versus lefty.
Two-one pitch to Brewer. Ground ball. Handled. They get 1. Can they turn 2? They do, and we are going to extra innings. Brett Paulson with some nice plays. He turns 2. We will go to the 10th. Clemson and Stony Brook are still scoreless. Defensive changes for Clemson after the bottom half of the 9th inning. Pierce Gallo, who came in to pinch run, will now take over at second base. Max Starbuck will stay in the game, and he will move over to third in place of Briar Hawkins, who left the game after getting that base hit there in the bottom of the 9th. They went for nothing, unfortunately, for the Tigers at least. So we go to the 10th inning with Nick Clayton remaining in the game in relief, and the top of the Stony Brook order, it's Evan Giordano. 1 for 4 on the day, and that single back in the 3rd. Clayton with his 2nd inning of work. One-0 pitch. Misses outside. It's 2-0. Good look at Nick Clayton, who has allowed 1 hit. He's got 1 strikeout so far. Fly ball. Chasing after it is Ferry, the first baseman, in foul territory. Couldn't quite bring that one in. It reminds me, he made a fantastic catch in that same situation in the game against Liberty last Saturday.
He did, right over the shoulder. This one was similar, except it was drifting back on his left side, much harder to find sometimes, and felt like he should have had it. Obviously, he's a tough competitor and wanted it desperately at this time of the game.
Don't hit that ground too hard.
Yeah, that's how you end up with that freak injury.
2-1 count. Clayton against Giordano. Fouls it away. It's 2-2. No runs, 2 hits, 2 errors for Clemson, 0, 7, and 1 for Stony Brook. Game 2 of this weekend series. And it is scoreless as we are here in the top of the 10th. Misses to make it a full count at 3-2. Clayton full count. Got him looking, and there's 1 down.
And he knew it right away. He just turned and walked away. He was looking for a changeup, something different, and he threw a good hard cutter right out the outside corner.
That high center field camera we have just is so good at giving a look at those pitches, the way they break at the plate. Stanton Luthner steps in there. Struck out a couple of times, has a single, also stole a base. Shows bunt, but takes the ball, 1-0.
You could see him look at third, peek real quick. I had a feeling he was going to try and attempt that possible bunt.
Takes a cut and misses, 1-1. Luthner, a .312 hitter on the season. Lays off that one. Gets the ball called, 2-1. Gave him the corner, 2-2.
You get that call inch or two just off the plate like that, and you're throwing a changeup from a right-handed, that's tough.
It's hit, but it's hit right beyond the grasp of Gallo. Gallo was set for it, but couldn't quite get to it. And the base hit with 1 down, and the go-ahead run is on board.
Did that get just over him? It almost looked like it went by his glove. Nope, just over.
Second hit allowed by Nick Clayton. So that brings up Chris Hamilton. Hamilton is 1 for 4. He had an infield single back in the first. Clayton misses inside, 1-0. Hamilton had 8 home runs a season ago. The pitch. Fly ball. Calling for it is Hall. In left center field. He brings it in. There's 2 away. You're a Clemson fan. You probably were cursing at me for mentioning how many home runs he had a season ago. Then he hits a fly ball like that, but got under a little too much, and there's 2 down. That brings up John Tuccillo, the catcher. Tuccillo reached last time. You might recall it was originally ruled a hit. Took another look at it or reconsidered. They changed it to an error on Sam Hall last time up, so he's 1 for 4 on the day. He's hitting .227 on the season. Fouled out of play. 0-2 with 2 out.
Yeah, and I think you could honestly say Stony Brook hitters have not caught up to pitching just yet, and Clemson's struggling a little bit today. So all of that will change as you get more and more at bats and see weather starts warming.
Runner is going. There is the throw, and it will not get the runner at first. So Luthner gets the stolen base. Came up throwing. There's Gallo. As you can see, the ball got loose there. So now there's a runner in scoring position with 2 out, a 1-2 count on Tuccillo. Clayton's pitch. Outside, but he got the strike call, and that will end the top of the 10th. A big strikeout with a runner in scoring position for Nick Clayton. We will go to the bottom of the 10th. It is a scoreless game between Clemson and Stony Brook. We go to the bottom of the 10th inning at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. Tigers and Seawolves are still scoreless, and that pretty much tells you the story. That is a bunch of zeros. We've worked 2 games together now, and we have had 1 run in our 2 games. Sam Hall will lead things off here for the Tigers in the bottom of the 10th. The number 9, 1 and 2 hitters up for the Tigers. Hall has a hit on the day, a single back in the 5th. Pitch from Brian Morrissey, taken for a strike. Here's a look at Morrissey, who's in his 2nd inning of relief work. Pitch is in the dirt, 1-1. I love what can happen in early season numbers. Morrissey came in relief with an ERA of 12.00. It's now down to 9.
There you go.
Took a cut and missed, 1-2. Sam Hall has 1 homer on the season. Morrissey with a 1-2 pitch. Didn't give him the corner. 2-2.
Yeah, a little bit on the line. He set up on the line. He needed to stay inside the line, catch it there, and bring it back.
2-2 pitch to Sam Hall. Struck out swinging, and there's 1 down in the Clemson 10th.
Morrissey with a good strikeout, 89 mile an hour. Clemson really has not looked comfortable all day long at the plate. Good job by Stony Brook pitchers.
Morrissey's first strikeout here in relief. Here's Max Starbuck now, who's 0 for 4 on the day. Clemson just has 2 hits. They have more errors than hits. They have more hit by pitches than hits so far. But still a scoreless game. Morrissey's pitch. Popped him up, but not enough for Tuccillo to be able to make a play on it. Mack is 3 for 17 on the season. Fouled it off to the right side. Here Meredith is on deck. You might remember that he got hit by a pitch his last time up and took a pretty good shot just below the knee. Was struggling with it a little bit, but stayed in the game as the DH. 1-2 pitch. There's a shot, base hit. 3rd of the day for the Tigers. And the winning run goes to first with 1 down. Nice piece of hitting there by Max Starbuck.
Short stroke, pushed it right up the middle.
If you're wondering, Starbuck is 2 for 2 on the season in stolen bases. Brings up Meredith, who besides being hit by the pitch in the 8th to get on board, he's 0 for 3, and all 3 of those official plate appearances were strikeouts. First hit allowed by Morrissey.
And then made the mistake of easing back to first, not thinking the play was over, and the pitcher made a really good recognition and got the ball over and tagged him coming back.
He's got a chance to atone for it right here. Pitch misses, 1-0. Here's average at 368. He's batting better than 500 on the season with runners on. Throw over to first to keep an eye on Starbuck.
It looked like he gave the motion he was going initially. Still got back to the bag, but you may have woken up Stony Brook to some kind of defensive play.
Takes it inside, 2-0. Good look at Kier Meredith. 2-0 pitch, but before that, another throw over to first. The Clemson fans who are acting like temporary Stony Brook coaches are getting tired of the throws over to first, but it's a scoreless game in the 10th inning.
Yeah, and it looked like he jumped again, so he's indicating that he's wanting to go.
Pitch taken for a strike, 2-1. Right there.
Yeah, good fastball right there. Getting back in the strike zone.
Brian Morrissey's 2-1 pitch. In the dirt, 3-1. Tigers have Starbuck at first with a single with 1 out.
Good opportunity for Clemson to make something happen here. We're ahead 3-1.
Starbuck takes his lead. 3-1 pitch. Did they call a balk? Indeed they did. You can see Morrissey making his case. Now he's jawing a little bit with the umpire. Ball 4 was called regardless. He says he came to a stop.
It's borderline.
Yeah.
I'm not sure in the 10th inning I'm calling that, but not without telling him in between an inning or in between a pitch, hey, you got to stop. And maybe he has. But, man.
Well, the winning run is now at second. And at the plate for the Tigers is Elijah Henderson. Pitch in the dirt, but the runners will hold. Nice shot by Tuccillo.
A lot of space in between third and short there. If you can just even pull a little ground ball through there.
So you've got Starbuck at first. Meredith actually on with the walk because that was ball 4, even though he made that call as the pitch was made. Right down the middle for a strike, 1-1. Elijah Henderson has not knocked on a run this year. This would be a good spot for it. 1 down in the bottom of the 10th. Pitch is low, 2-1. Adam Hackenberg is on deck for the Tigers.
Only trouble Stony Brook pitchers have had is when they've gotten behind or walked or hit batters. They find themselves in that condition right now.
2-1 pitch. There's a drive. Right center field. Making the turn for home. And coming in with the winning run. The Clemson Tigers take this one in 10. 1-0. And a huge hit for Elijah Henderson. He delivers the game winner. Somewhere in the middle of that is Elijah Henderson, who comes through in the big moment. His base hit brings home Max Starbuck, and the Tigers win this one at 10 by a final of 1-0.
Unbelievable. Line drive. Perfect location as far as having the opportunity to get your runner in.
There is Starbuck, and then watch Kier Meredith watching all this. Meredith knows what's going to happen. He knows that Starbuck is going to make the turn and get home, and the Tigers pulled this one out by a final of 1-0. Clemson had 4 hits in the game. They had 2 in the 10th inning and moved to 6-0 on the season. And for Stony Brook, they dropped to 1-5. A tough loss for them as the Tigers take it by a final score of 1-0. What a way to finish this one. Of course, the same 2 teams tomorrow. For our entire crew at Clemson, this is Fred Cunningham for Marty Clary saying good night as the Tigers in 10 defeat Stony Brook by a final score of 1-0. To watch this entire game on replay as well as other games on ACC Network, download the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.